Truth, but I'll never tell a lie. Here's one that might sting a little. See, things would be very different for the trans community if more of them had a little bit more self-awareness. First, it was just let us live our lives. We just want to be a part of society. Everybody was like, cool, word, no problem. Do you. Use whatever pronouns you want. Whatever you do as an adult is your business. Go for it. But then it quickly turned into, let us into your locker room, let us compete against your daughters, let us take your scholarships, let us rewrite the definition of what a woman is, let us take your awards, let us into your sport, let us teach your kids about gender identity behind your back, let us ban you from speaking if you disagree with us, let us censor your words, fire you from your job, and cancel your entire life if you don't comply with us. And if you say no to any of that, you're a bigot. You're anti-trans. Do you see where you guys got off track? You gotta be real fucking honest. This backlash that you guys are receiving, the frustration and the transphobia y'all keep screaming about, it's not coming from people randomly hating trans folk. No. It's coming from the fact that somewhere along the line, your acceptance turned into entitlement to the point where you guys have become insufferable. And the entitlement is giving very much narcissistic. You want to be respected? Show respect. You want acceptance? Show some humility. If you want to be taken seriously, then stop acting like a disagreement is violence and that your identity is immune to criticism. Because when you have absolutely no self-awareness, all you're doing is proving that you don't want equality and what you want is control. But now I want to hear from you guys. Do you think if this movement had a little bit more self-awareness, they wouldn't be receiving the backlash they're getting right now? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, love you guys. Peace. You might not like the...
Okay. That was a lot. And a lot to
unpack,
yeah, it's a lot to unpack. And a lot of the things he does say about certain trans people is correct. He does. Now some of the things he says, some of them are sweeping generalizations. Not gonna, I'm just calling a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Just listening to the entire video because I like to dissect these videos and I like to just kind of put it all together to be a fair assessment because I don't deal with feelings. I deal with facts.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah.
And some of the sweeping generalizations were like, you know what I'm saying, whatever, because it's just like. Also keep in mind that a lot of it was like even the current administration right now is doing a lot of things to basically target that community. So it's just like when I hear entitlement, I'm like, well, that can be a little far that could be not as true because of what's happening presently.
Of course.
So that's and I'm just keeping it fair, honestly and truthfully. But what he's saying is like. There are certain people within the trans community that are really what they're doing is they're grifting. They're profiting in order to grow and have the community have more of a voice than what they have. There are certain things because you have to understand. Once again, this is dealt with mostly spearheaded by white men.
Of course.
Like just objective, like this just like objectively.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And this and it was just like they've hijacked a movement that was really originated by black and Latin trans people.
Amen.
So it's just like that's also a thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of this is just like it is rooted, surprisingly, for like some black folks don't realize that homophobia is rooted within white supremacy. Intersectionality. That's what
patriarchy. A man toxic masculinity.
Absolutely.
Or what a man should be.
Exactly, and but I agree with him on on certain things like. I agree with him. Yeah, sometimes you do say no or to them or they feel like they're gonna call you a bigot. Cancel you. Some very extreme. I've never ran into any. Me personally.
Yeah.
But I know that they're out there because I have talked to other trans people who know other trans people like that.
Yeah.
And most of the time. they're just trying to get a check. Mostly. Those are the people that are trying to get a check, recognition, some type of monetary gain in order to continue not only with their cloud chasing, not as like not to mention pay for their enhancements.
Yeah.
Like they'll go to a lot of controversial lengths to get to get these surgeries that they want. So that's also that's kind of a bottom line. Just kind of give you all like a kind of a dive into like what because I do know trans people. I've talked to a lot of trans people over the years. Like I'm 38. I've met a lot of people in my lifetime.
Well, let me dissect the video. So I do want to talk about equality first, because we know in the LGBT trans community, equality only is towards white, gay, and trans men. Equality for anyone is always towards them. So that,
Amen.
Most minorities in the LGBT and trans world does not get that same grace. But I do also want to express, as far as the trans community and the movement that was moved by, he was right, African American and a Hispanic trans, and who was always backing you were black women. We always back the movement. Now, when he speaks to the movement has shifted, I'm speaking as far as an African American woman. And every time we back a movement, women's rights, the right to vote, the trans and LGBT community, we always back the movement. And once those individuals get the rights that they're seeking, they completely forget about the black women that backed them. And it's always black women that backs. And I felt like with the trans community, it has personally been shots to my gut when I'm like, bro, we have supported you. You already know how I feel about the cis woman term. How I feel about how basically you say that black women want to be you and we model you. When, am I correct? You can only model a woman. And the women that y'all have always modeled were your moms and your aunts and your sisters. So it feels like that we have always backed you, and like everybody else, it's consistent shots. As a black woman, I feel the bottom of everybody. And right now, I'm also starting to feel the weight of the LGBT and trans community. And has nothing to do with equality in this aspect. It has to do with everything with the black and brown community, with the trans community. And how I'm starting to now feel marginalized while you are fighting for your rights. And that's the reason why I agree with his video, because I feel that way. I was with you, never against you. But then for some reason, the tables got turned on me, and I'm like, what? And once again, I'm still at the bottom. It's like everybody is okay with putting their foot on my neck to get ahead. I was never against you. You know who I am. And I think majority of black women were never against you. But it seems like you have done what everybody has done once you got put into a certain position. And now I'm starting to feel that, and I'm like, what? You are marginalized by who? Let's get this correct. Everybody is marginalized by white men. Why is everything so much to blame on a black woman that has no power in this world? Because it's easy for you to put your problems on me than for you to recognize who the real issue is.
They set it up that way.
Everything. I have no power. You don't even see me as substance, but all blame on me and not the white man. Yep. And I got a problem with that. Because I don't set up shit.
Yep.
The issue is that I am the only one that can sit there and suck up all this shit and keep things rolling. That's the problem. That I am the only one that ain't going to let the white man continue to control me. And everybody wish they could do the same.
Yeah. It's like, this video was loaded, period.
Yeah.
It was loaded. It touched on a lot of issues all in one. And, I just think all of us could do a better, we all need to do a better job of just communicating with one another. Like, because at the end of the day, you touched on it, it's just like we're all oppressed by the same person. Mm-hmm. We are. Mm-hmm. And it's like, there's no reason to have, for us to be against each other. I agree with that. 100%. Mm-hmm. Because there's no reason for us to be if we're united or, allies to one another, which most of the communities, they are. You know what I'm saying? We are mostly. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely people in our community that don't mess with them, and there's people in the trans community that don't mess with black folks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We know.
Yeah, there's people like that in every community. It's nothing new. Everybody is different and set up differently. So I just feel, we just need to still communicate better.
Yes, communication key.
Communicate better. Start meeting newer people that are different from you. You know what I mean? It's very important as well. I think it's very easy for us in the black community to be just, with the people that we know and, and just like anybody different, just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We do that a lot. And I think as a community, we can do a lot better than what we're doing because we do a good job of it anyway.
Yeah.
It's just the simple fact that we can still do better. And I don't think it's a bad thing to want us to do better. And
I think it's also very important for us to stop this back and forth and start to deal with our situation and our issues with who the real problem is. We have all lost focus. And all we keep doing is back and forth. And we got to understand what the true issue is. Black and brown.